Don,
Yes.
would you like to
Can
share?
you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can we hear him good enough?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. You want me to go?
No.
Okay. First off, I want to apologize to Jen because Jen had voxed me about my story, and then we text back and forth. And she said, "Can you leave it for me on Boxer?" And I said, "Yeah," and I forgot. So I apologize, Jen. Anyways, so it's going to be recorded now, so you guys can share it with all those skeptical men out there like I was. Anyways, my name is Don Trylovich. I'm 57 years old. I'm going to tell you my Juice Plus story. If you've heard it before, I apologize that you have to sit through it again, but hopefully it'll help some people that maybe haven't heard it before. I'm going to go back. I'll start real quick. As a young boy, I loved sports. I played sports through high school and college and dabbled very shortly in professional sports. And the thing about the way I thought is I could eat anything I want because I worked out. So essentially what it was, I was very fit, but I wasn't healthy, but I didn't know that until I was 47 years old. And the last time I had went to a doctor before that was when I was 35 years old. And like most men, we don't like to go to the doctor because we just don't like people probing and poking us. And of course, we don't want any bad information or news. So it's like, oh, let's just avoid it. I'm doing okay. But when I was 47, I started to have just some weird issues that were happening with me. And it was my blood pressure. I didn't know it. But I decided to go into the doctor and found out that my blood was 175. My blood pressure was 175 over 115, and I had 333 cholesterol level. So naturally, like what doctors do is they just put you on a prescription. Like, here, take this. This will take care of it. At the time, being athletic, I was working out. We cycled a lot. The one thing that sticks out the most to me back 10 years ago when I was 47 is that if I went cycling, I would have to take Advil before I went cycling. And then when I was done cycling, I would have to take Advil. And I was pretty much living on it. And I would have to take 2 or 3 days off before I could go cycling again. And I just thought this was getting old, 47 years old, could cycle every third or fourth day, that type of thing. And at that time, now I'm taking prescriptions, still taking Advil, really didn't change my diet, grew up as a fast food junkie. I'll go back to when I was like 18, 19 years old. I would get up in the morning, stop at the local 7-Eleven, and my breakfast was, I'm embarrassed to say this, but it was a bottle of Coke and a Snickers bar, and that was my breakfast. And my lunches consisted of like McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, and then that was my dinners. And so I was chronically getting ill for, 30 years until I finally went to the doctor. And then what happened 10 years ago was Kim was at the gym, and she was, I think it was a treadmill or one of the machines. And Michelle Pitto was next to her and started having a conversation. And Kim was discussing how I went to the doctor, I've got these issues. And she says, well, I think I have something that can help you. So Kim got really excited about it and ordered Juice Plus for the whole family. And then she came home and told me, I'm getting the whole family on Juice Plus. And I said, what is it? She says, it's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And at that time, I wasn't happy that I was already taking medication in capsules. So I poo-pooed it right away. I said, I'm not taking it. I don't care. The family can take it. I don't want any of it. So for 6 months, I took my prescriptions. I ate the way I wanted to, and the family was taking Juice Plus. And then one night, we were sitting in the living room watching TV, and Kim said, so you've been on you've been on prescription drugs now for 6 months. Do you think that's what you're going to do the rest of your life until you're like 80, another 30 years? And that really hit me, thinking about paying for prescription drugs and taking them, especially with the side effects that they have. And I said, all right. I caved in and I said, I'll take your little fruity pills. And so I started taking them. We made some lifestyle changes. We got off the sodas and slowly started removing bad things from our diet. And within 6 months, I went back to the doctor. He says, wow, your blood pressure looks good. Your cholesterol looks good. Let's renew your prescription. And I said, you don't need to do that. And he said, why? And I said, I haven't been taking it for 6 months. I said, I went cold turkey. I got off of it. I got on Juice Plus. I made some lifestyle changes. And I was feeling a lot better. I used to take naps in the middle of the day at 47 years old. I didn't need the naps anymore. And the biggest thing that I noticed was I could go cycle 30 days on a Monday. And instead of waiting until Thursday, I could literally ride 30 on Tuesday and 30 on Wednesday and 30 on Friday. And to this day, and I'm 57 now, if I wanted to go out and ride every single day, I could do it. So it's not a matter of getting old. It's just a matter of, just taking care of yourself and eating healthy. And the inflammation went away. And I noticed everything was better. My hair was growing faster. My nails were harder, thicker. And internally things were changing in me. And I actually lost weight. I lost about, we did the shred, but back then it was a complete transformation. And in 4 months, I lost 38 pounds. And that's very helpful when you're cycling and you're climbing hills. Think about cycling and put a backpack on with 38 pounds in it, how much harder it is to cycle. So I got a lot stronger, and was keeping up with the younger guys a lot better and actually performing better on the bike than them. And then fast forward now to 57, and health-wise, I'm in excellent health. We still work out, we still cycle, I can ski, and I don't have to think about cutting those things short in my life, and I'm hoping to be able to do them for another 30 years. One thing that we've benefited out of this is that our whole family is on it, and we were able to change all of our 3 children's eating habits. After soccer games, we'd run them through McDonald's for an unhappy meal, and you just don't know what you don't know. And pizza, hot dogs, burgers, the American diet, right? And nobody knows. So initially, I never wanted to take the product, and I certainly never wanted to do the business. I thought it was, it's one of those Amway things. I don't want to have to push that on people. But we started to share it with so many people, with our family and our parents, and both Kim's parents and my parents are doing incredible. They're all in their very late 70s or early 80s, and they've been on Juice Plus a long time. They're doing terrific. I think other than that, we're just flourishing on all this nutrition in our body. The one thing I want to share that is real important for people to know is that our generation, meaning my generation, the baby boomers, we're not living as long as our parents. Our parents grew up eating more from the earth. And I think our generation, when we came along in the 60s and 70s, was, the frozen dinners. I mean, how many remember opening up that tin and Salisbury steak and corn and potatoes, right? And so we started getting all this preservatives in our food. And Kim and I, over the last 7 to 8 years, have lost 14 friends. And they were all between the age of 47 and 56. And the really scary thing that hit me really hard was that 13 of those 14 were men. And they were friends of mine that were fit, but they weren't healthy. They continued on that path that I was on at 47. And I look back sometimes and I wish that maybe I would have shared Juice Plus with some of them, but at that time I was too cool for school. It was like I was worried about them saying, oh, I don't need that. Why are you even talking to me about that? But now when I think about it, I don't even hesitate to talk to people, my friends and that about it. And if they make the decision to do it, that's great. If they don't, well, then I understand. I just drip slowly on them. I hope maybe that they'll make some changes someday. But those 13 men all died of heart disease and cancer. Nothing else, heart disease and cancer. And really sad stories. One friend was on the tennis court playing doubles. He said he just didn't feel well. He went and sat on the bench and he fell over and had a heart attack right there in the tennis courts with some of the other guys that I know that were playing tennis. Another friend of mine was watching American Idol with his wife. And he had just said, his last words were, "Wow, that girl, I think she could go all the way." And he grabbed his chest and he fell off the couch. And that was it. He was dead. So that really hit me hard. And I think about those guys a lot. And so I'm going to do everything I can do, get my friends on it, and people that I don't know, and spread that mission of good health and vitality to everybody that we know. So I hope that's helpful, and thanks for taking the time to listen to my story. Appreciate it.